Good afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Before we get started with Phillip, I've got to make an announcement, and this is about Chick-fil-A in Guntersville. So what they're doing is they're redecorating, and so for several months, it's going to be about 3 or 4 months, you won't be able to go to Chick-fil-A in Guntersville, but you can go to our other sponsor, Chick-fil-A, which is located in Fort Payne.
Yes.
So you can go there and get some of their really good sandwiches and stuff. I think they're going to plow the whole thing down, start all over again.
Maybe. I know my wife and boys were at the Fort Payne one a couple of days ago, or one day last week, and they were quite pleased. They like it. They like it.
Good folks out there. Yeah, good breakfast and stuff too.
But we love the one in Guntersville. That was our go-to place. It was, and we'll be anxious for them to get it finished and get back there.
I thought it looked good the way it was.
I did too. But they were so swamped with customers. I'm sure this has something to do with their ability to take care of more people.
Yeah. In a growth mode, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Right now. So anyway, we're looking forward to when they come back in business again. But that's definitely make sure I told you that, okay? Phillip Gilliland is with me right now. He's with American Fellowship of Cowboy Churches. I always love having you on the show, Phillip.
Oh, I enjoy being here. I love to talk about our churches. I love what they do, and there's so many pastors that are just great guys that are around us in these churches, and one of the things, and I'm trying to remember who it was asked me about this, but I couldn't believe all the churches we have. There's so many in Alabama now that we do our own gathering, but that's a good thing, and we do some things like on fifth Sundays nights we rotate around from church to church and have joint services with our fellow churches, which is a great thing because it builds a lot of camaraderie between our churches, and
it's almost like a reunion because we get to see other church members that we don't get because there's so many Cowboy churches in this area.
Oh, it is, and our folks have got over the years have got to know these people, and it's just like a big giant family reunion when we have a fifth Sunday night thing, and I love those, and we're in the heart of the busy season for Cowboy churches. I know that Thousand Hills up in Tennessee, they are having a series of ranch rodeos, and I think they had their first one Saturday. No Fences Cowboy Church over at Faulkville has a series of youth rodeos. They had their first one last Saturday. So we're in that time of the year, and we do a for him youth rodeo every month. We had one a week ago this past Saturday at the Trading Post, which was a great one. We had a big crew there, and a lot of people came, but a lot of what we do is about kids, and that we're into camp season, and it's a good thing because what generally happens is when our kids go to camp, and this is huge, when they come back, they usually bring a revival with them back to us. So I love it's one of the AFCC's biggest expenditures. We're finished. We've already had camps already in Oklahoma and Texas, and they start the end of the week in Alabama. So and we send hundreds of kids to camps.
And the kids are still talking about last year.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times kids, it's just, the short attention span. And a lot of times they'll do something and in a month they're done with it. These kids are still talking about the one from last year.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about camaraderie. I know even my own boys, they'll be talking about what's going on with a kid in another church, and what they tell me stuff that I don't even know that's going on in another church because they are so connected with young people in other churches.
This bond. And I think another thing is the kids look forward to seeing the other kids.
Oh yeah, mine's already said I can't wait to see so and so, and I can't wait to see this one. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So that'll bring a bunch of new life into our churches when when that gets behind us here in a few
Well, they'll
weeks.
come back to church and then they'll start talking about all the different things they were talking about.
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
is pretty cool.
Oh, it is. And then, of course, we'll have our Pee Wee camp in July at Crossover Cowboy Church in Henniger, and that's another big deal. That's for the little ones that are not old enough to go to the big kids camp. So it's a great thing. And one of the kids, the pastor's youngest boy, he was in an accident here a few weeks ago. And I've kept up with it through my youngest son Jacob, who is friends with him. Now it was a pretty serious accident. So he tells me, he said, "How's Noah doing?" He's telling me all along how Noah's doing, and he's doing great, and his recovery is coming right along. And but it's life, and to have these kids, and I noticed my youngest one, I'll never forget this. When that happened, I remember us sitting down to dinner and him praying over that kid at our meal table. So that's a pretty cool thing when a dad gets to hear his kid pray for a kid in another church that's he was in a serious accident. So it's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Well, these kids, they're like when one goes to the altar, they all go.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they're
all
pretty
there supporting each other.
Yes, they're then that group from Lookout Mountain, man, they've got it going on. I love Robert and Selena. They've done a tremendous job, and the church has done an awesome job supporting them. And what a blessing! That's just one of the most powerful groups I know of.
It is, and those kids are something that, and this is another thing the kids will do. I've seen them help people out to the car. Like it was raining one day. Well, I saw a bunch of kids with umbrellas walking with folks out to so they don't get wet.
If they saw me hobbling around, they'd really help me. These last few days, I've overdone it a little bit here and there. And then we were in the arena last night. I'm thinking, well, I'll get this worked out. Well, I didn't get it worked out. It's just worse this morning, but it was worth the time. And a lot of what we do is about our kids, and there's not any more greater life in a church than the life of the young people, because that is the church of
they
tomorrow.
are bringing life in. I don't have to tell you, this is really funny. So it was close to after church, the announcements were being made and that kind of thing. And so I think it was Robert stood up and said, we're going to have a thing for the kids, and we're going to actually teach them how to dress chickens.
Yes.
And I looked over at Phil and I went, my Phil. And I said, I always knew this was the church for me. Now I know.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the one where you're going to teach kids how to dress chickens.
Oh, that's right.
That was the most amazing thing.
Oh, I think that's great. I mean,
and the kids are just all eager, just jumping all over each other, wanting to do it too.
Yeah, that's good. That's when you know you're in a cowboy church, though. That's really good.
Oh, and the kids sit in the amen corner. I remember my grandparents, now back in the olden days, back in my days, we went to Poplar Springs with my grandparents, and my granddad sat on this side of the amen corner. My grandmother and all the other women were on this side. Well, my grandmother would say, you sit with me because your attention span is just like that.
Yeah.
Like that. And I said, but I don't want to sit in the amen corner. Oh, it's cool to sit in the amen corner.
Oh, it is at Cowboy Church. At your Cowboy
the
Church.
Teenagers.
That's right.
It wasn't when I was growing up.
It's amazing how things have kind of changed. The order of things in a cowboy church is a little bit different, and the only cowboy churches that really struggle are the ones that doesn't really follow the cowboy church model. Because I can tell you that's a lot of what the school we'll have in August is about. Is about following that model. And if you'll, the one thing that I know absolutely for sure is if you follow the model that we use, you'll be successful. You'll be successful as a church. And I didn't come up with this. Some men that were incredibly knowledgeable, and I know some of them, and some of them are older than me, and some of them have retired, but I got to sit and listen how that came to be. It wasn't just something where we think this would be a good idea. It was something they had been through and they had experienced, and that's why we should do it this way. And for sure, it has proved itself to be good.
I can speak to you about babies.
Yeah.
My son, though, he's 43 years old now, but he's not always been 43 years old. Babies are going to cry.
Yeah.
And I remember being in church when he was a baby, and there was nothing I could do about it. He was a baby, and he started crying. I remember women looking around at me in church, and I remember thinking, I'll just stay home with him because I don't want to be disruptive and what have you in church. But that's taken away. Because when a baby, and I'll tell you something, I've got to where I do the same thing. If somebody new comes in and they sit close to us, I'll speak to the little kids and I'll say, man, life in the church. I'll just say little things like that.
Yeah.
Well, because they're so used to being cramped down. I think in today's society, people are so cramped and they don't feel free anymore. And when you go to a Cowboy church, there's this freedom that I've not seen anywhere else.
I hope so. That's the way it's supposed to be, because that is really the way it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. And it really is. We've got to go to a commercial break.
Okay.
We'll be right back in just a few minutes. You hang in there, okay? The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0.
The best sleep just got even better. Whether you have a My Pillow or not, you need to get the brand new My Pillow 2.0. Call or go to mypillow.com now. Use your promo code, and for a limited time when you buy one, you'll get a second one absolutely free.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're back from commercial break, and I just wanted to give you a little more information, and this is about American Fellowship of Cowboy Churches, the American Fellowship of Cowboy Churches, and the website you need to go to is AmericanFCC.org. That's AmericanFCC.org. And so this is just this website is really good. So it's just chock full of information, but I wanted to mention a couple of things. First of all is the Cowboy camps. We go to the Cowboy Church in Collinsville, Alabama, kind of halfway between Birmingham and Collinsville and then Fort Payne. So in that general area. So the Cowboy camps, this is something, since we've been going to the Cowboy Church, the kids get a lot out of this. Now, there's two different kinds of camps. One is for the younger kids, and the other one is for the older ones. So they have this one coming up. And by the way, kids pay nothing to go to this camp. Parents pay nothing, okay? So this is just a big expense that the Cowboy Church actually takes good care of. So they have one coming up. Now, this is preteens, and this is on June the 23rd through the 26th, and this will be in Lourdes, Texas, the Big Country Baptist Assembly. I think there's still time to get into that. Now, the teens, that was preteens, so the teens would be on June the 27th through July the 1st. And so they have a camp walk on water. Stewart, Oklahoma is where this one is. And that one is going to be July the 10th through the July the 14th. Teen number 1 is 6/14 to 6/18, and then teen number 2 would be 6/19 to 6/23. In Chelsea, Alabama, they're going to also have a camp. This is Hargis Christian Camp. Preteen 6/24, that's June the 24th through June the 28th. Teen will be June the 29th through July the 3rd. And so this is just, it's a good camp. I keep hearing all kinds of great things. As a matter of fact, the kids at the church we go to, they're still talking about the camp they had last year, which is kind of unusual. That's why I'm really promoting this big time. So if you have kids, teenagers, and they just want to see what's it like, I mean, it's okay to let them go. It doesn't really matter what denomination you are. This is just a really, really good camp for kids. It's a Christian one. Now, the Oklahoma camp, they call it the Camp Walk on Water, is in Stewart, Oklahoma. Preteens will be from July the 10th through July the 14th. And now the teen 1, that registration has been closed, but you can still get them in on team 2. So you need to hurry up, though, because the closeout time on this one is this coming Friday, which would be June the 23rd. Alabama camp, that's the Hargis Christian Camp, Chelsea, Alabama. Now, the teens, that registration is closed already. They've got more teens than they can do anything with. Preteens is going to be registration from the 24th of June until the 28th. Now, the 2023 camp registration, let me go ahead and give you just a bit more information about that. So Alabama camps and Oklahoma camps and Texas camps. Let's see. This is the one for Alabama. Now, they're all gmail.com. So here's the Alabama camp. That's AFCCAL camp. Okay. And then the Oklahoma is OK.AFCC.camp, gmail.com for all of these. And then Texas is AFCC Texas Camp at gmail.com. Got to do the registration form, and there's a link for that. All you have to just click on that, and then you'll be able to get that done as well. Okay, and let's see there. Let's see what this says right here. Okay, so here's the camper information and supplies. okay, that are recommended supplies. And you need to label all of the supplies, put the camper's full name and the church name. So here's some things you'll need to bring. Bible, the notebook, pens and pencils, a sleeping bag or twin sheets and a blanket, pillow, toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, shampoo, hairbrush, shower shoes, but something like flip-flops, towels and washcloths, sunscreen and or a cap or a hat, insect repellent. Bring you some Skin So Soft. That'll do it. Absolutely. Let's see. Towels, washcloths, sunscreen and or a cap or a hat. Let's see. Shorts and or jeans. Shirts, underwear, socks, comfortable tennis shoes or boots. Make sure the comfortable boots. Some of the cowboy boots are like not good for walking. Get some old worn out boots. Those are always going to work. A modest swimsuit, plastic bag or for dirty clothes, medication in case you need something, and that would need to be dispensed, by the way, from the camp nurse. I'm glad to hear they've got a camp nurse out there. Flashlight, spending money for snacks and souvenirs, $20 to $30. Snacks in single serving size or sealable bags. Here's a special note. Please bring extra clothes and closed-toed shoes, as there will be activities that will involve mud and water. Believe me, the kids were always talking about that. Here are things not to bring. Okay, don't bring excessive money. You're not going to need it. Do not bring expensive jewelry, no electronic games, no weapons. Okay, so just wanted to point that out to you. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to the website again. I believe that's pretty much well got everything right there for the kids. And there are plenty of videos, by the way. If you want to see what the kids do, they learn so many grand things. Oh, and they'll come back pumped up. And like I told you, a lot of times you take kids to camp, they're pumped up for a couple of weeks and then they're done. Our kids are still pumped up. So if you're looking for a way to pump up those kids, this would be a good way to do it. Again, go to AmericanFCC.org. And you'll find all the information I just gave you plus more. Okay, so there's just chock full of information for you right there. Now, something else they do at Cowboy Church, there is also what they call Cowboy Church Clinics. And we have time, I'll talk about that for a minute. They supply support and mentorship needed to cultivate a generation of church leaders eager to serve their community. While there may not yet to be a cowboy church in your area, this is still a good camp for you guys to go to. So communication with Christ is what it's all about. So they just had one, but I want to talk about this upcoming one. Okay, so this will be at J Bar J Country Church. And this is located in New Mexico. This one is going to be July the 29th is when it begins, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they call it 101 Ministry, which is pretty cool. So ministry teams is what they're going to talk about. And that's what all cowboy churches do. They really don't vote on anything. They just have teams. And then people within that team, they get together and make the decisions about what they're going to do. But like they have one, it's like a food team. And so like if something happens, like the Oklahoma, had tornadoes and things out there. Kentucky, when they had all that rain last year. So Curtis actually got a whole bunch of folks together, and they had a chuck wagon, and they took that out there and fed folks out there who lost their homes. And so that's what they do. They just get teams and they get out there and get her done. They have small church model. This is a model. And this is, by the way, what's working, okay? Administration elders. They have lay pastors. They do the small groups. Again, they just have something like food. Or maybe it's something about wranglers, or it's something about, teaching kids how to ride horses or something like that. So they always have those things to do. So administration, small groups, children's ministry, which is a huge thing, big thing, and then also question and answer segments there. If you would like to be part of this, you need to send an email, and this is an easy one, secretary@AmericanFCC.org. That's secretary@AmericanFCC.org. Let me get my timer handy. I'll make sure I don't go over. Okay, and then another one is going to be, no, that date again is July 29th, okay? Okay, then here's one for Valley Mills, Texas. And so it's their Top Hand Cowboy Church, and that's going to be on September the 16th. And again, that day is going to be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Same deal. It's going to have the same stuff. They call it 101 training. And that's ministry teams, small church model, administration, elders, lay pastors, small groups, churches ministry, questions and answers. And a lot of folks are actually trying to organize and get cowboy churches started. I know Phillip Gilliland just got back from North Carolina, and so he was talking somewhere around the Raleigh area, somewhere out in the country is where he went. And so out there helping start up churches. Let me give you a good telephone number as well if you would like more, you just want to talk to somebody about this these events that are coming up. It's area code 972-937 9979. Again, that telephone number is area code 972-937-9979. And on this website, again, you'll find events, conferences, and they have cowboy churches. They also have ranch rodeo. They have a pastor's wives retreat as well. Pastors' wives need help too, especially when they're dealing with a husband that's a pastor. So here's a retreat. And they've already had a couple of them. Now, the next one coming up is going to be in Grant, Alabama. And so that's south of us. And that's going to be October the 5th and 6th. And so you better hurry up and get to that. Let me tell you what that's going to be about. Okay, so it's a pastor's wives retreat, a time for pastors' wives to relate. They can talk to each other. They got war stories, I'm pretty sure they can talk about. Relax, refuel with other pastors' wives. Okay, refresh and renew. And let's talk about what that is. We're thrilled to host this retreat specifically designed for cowboy churches, pastors' wives. I think pastors' wives need a retreat. As a pastor's wife, you know that it can be both challenging and a rewarding role. That's why we've created this retreat, to give you a chance to take a break, recharge your batteries, and form meaningful connections with others on a singular walk. Got a bunch of dates and locations to choose from, so you can find one that works best for you. Now, they had one in Potts, just to tell you where they are. They're all through the year, so there are actually 5 of them for this year. April 21st was in Rockport, Texas. And then they had April the 28th in Abilene, Texas, and May 5th in Jasper, Texas. And the one in June was June 9th through the 10th in Pottsboro, Texas. And then one here in Grant, Alabama, we're proud of, which is October the 5th and 6th. All of their events are Friday, 6 p.m. to Saturday, 4 p.m. Now, the Grant, Alabama retreat is Thursday, 9 a.m. to Friday, 4 p.m. And then you can sign up, and there's a real easy form you can fill out where you can sign up and go as well. Accommodations are really passionate about serving the families that have been called to a life of ministry, so they put a lot of thought into where the accommodation is going to be. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio. We go to Cowboy Church, so I've got inside information as to how it is, and I'm going to tell you what, it's good. But thank you again so much for watching. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. You can also find us our podcast, which is on netnewsnetwork.net. Again, thank you so much for watching.